Hello friends, it's Mr. E here, and today I want to highlight some mods. This is of course, for PC users, but many players have a set of mods and they don't go out there and see what's out there on the market, but I always am. I'm always perusing for new cool mods, so I want to highlight a few today that I have been very satisfied with, that I think are adding a lot of value to my game, and hopefully you can go and download them too. I'll pin them in the description as well if you want to do that. And of course, if you do like the looks of my entire mod pack, you can join as a channel member and you'll get access to the Discord and all the lovely people in there. You'll get the mod pack download from the Discord, and also you can support myself and you can support Bernie, and by supporting Bernie you'll also get Bernie on your loading screens, which is the first thing I want to highlight here, which is improved loading screens. It boggles my mind that Darktide has had the same singular loading screen for its entire existence. It's like, could we not add like a couple more images on there? And what this will do is exactly that. You can go in here and you can manage your collections, and you can see that by default, this mod will add 135 images from throughout the different concept arts for the levels, some of the thumbnails for the levels, some of the trailer shots from Hive Scum. We've got the Arbides trailer shot there. We've got stuff from different, this is from like the original trailers of the game. We had things from different events in the game. A lot of this art is very beautiful, and you never ever see it, especially not in high resolution. So I think this is so cool, and you can also even add it in your own pictures. So if you are like an anime gooner, you can add in a bunch of anime stuff here, or if you're a Bernie fan, you can add in Bernie pictures, and members will well know that there's actually a second folder I tucked inside this that has even more Bernie, so you can get a nice concentration of that. And you can, mix and match so there's a good ratio. Let me show you what that looks like, by the way. If we exit the Psychanium, we can, let's load into a level, actually. We can load into a level here, and I'll show you exactly what that looks like. And it's easy enough with, of course, the solo play mod, which, I'm not really making the video about that, but this is an awesome mod. We can simply just select any old level we want. We can play the game, and then it'll load in, and look at these loading screens, right? Beautiful, beautiful art, concept art from the game you would never see like it otherwise. And it actually has, I don't know if you noticed that, but it actually has real tips. Like, instead of having just like vague threats from the Inquisition on there's like real tips that actually apply to the game, such as like, if a beast of Nurgle vomits on you, then you can be eaten, but you can't be eaten if you're not vomited on. Pretty cool stuff that a lot of people don't know. Okay, anyway, we're in here to look at another thing, which is look at the names above these characters. There's a couple things about them. First of all, I have removed their character names because sometimes people's character names are like incredibly long, and you don't necessarily care like who it is so much as you care like what it is. Am I looking at the veteran? Am I looking at the psyker? I don't know. But now I know I'm looking at 3 veterans. And sometimes people's stupid long ass names are all the fuck up in your way when you're trying to aim, and this mod will also make it so, you can see there, the opacity goes way down when you're trying to aim through and actually shoot at something. And this mod is called Better Nameplate. It's really cool. It has a bunch of different settings here. You can change it to only be the icon, so you can have the veteran icon, but some people don't, like, they can't distinguish that at a distance. So I have it set to only class name, or you can do class name as well as their base name. So you can see that, okay, this person is color-coded. They are the orange veteran, so you'll know where to look for their health in the bottom left there.
I don't trust
and then
Prine's eyes. They never relax.
Yeah? Well, you don't ever relax neither.
That is different. I maintain vigilance. She is seeking a target.
Interesting idea. Any idea who?
Not yet. And I did not say it was a who.
Okay, that was a long fucking interaction there. Anyway, yeah, so like it actually tells you what their name is. It color codes them so you can look in your UI in the bottom left and see what they've got going on. And it's pretty cool, right? It's definitely very cool. And you can also set, as I showed you there, you can actually set the opacity when you're aiming. So you can set the default opacity to be like 100%, and then when you aim through them, to make the opacity go down so you're not being blocked by their name. Because I find that a lot of times, like, characters' names are massive and they're followed by their level and all that shit. So I have it set to only class name because I just want to know, okay, is that the veteran I'm looking at, or like the psyker at a distance? Pretty cool stuff. By the way, you should also notice that I have these outlines on these characters, these like very visible outlines. That is called player outlines, I believe. If you're interested in that, yeah, player outlines. That's a good one. Definitely improves your awareness of where characters are. The game used to have that feature, and they took it out for like performance issues. I don't know what the issue is, but it has no performance impact because I have a mod that detects that. So yeah, that's Better Nameplate. Very, very cool. All right, from there, what was the next one I wanted to highlight? It was, oh shoot, I should definitely plug Curios Checker. This is such a godsend if you are not a rich bastard who has a bunch of 17% toughness curios and stuff on all your characters. This is so cool because what this does is when you go to your operative selection menu back here, it actually shows you whether or not there are any characters in your list that have one of these curios available. So it'll pop up right here. Let me see if I can, yeah, I can just tweak it so that it will show. But let's look. I can set the curio threshold and I say, oh, I want a 4% toughness curio. All right. And then all these heroes here, these guys have that curio in stock. So currently I have it set because I'm missing all these 17% and 21% health, but I don't really care about the stamina. So I have it set to scan for those, and it'll check Milk Shop and it'll check your regular shop. Every time you log in, every time you're at that character screen, it'll show it. And I have gotten so many more like of these good curios, and I'm not having to check it all the goddamn time. That is so quality. I really, really love that. I can't believe I didn't think about like doing something like that sooner. Okay, and then from there, I think I had like 2 more that I wanted to highlight. One of them was the instant character swap sort of thing. Where was that? I just saw it a second ago. There it was, right there. Okay, yeah, instant character change. This is very cool. You know, I spend a lot of time in the Psychanium here, and it gets really annoying to have to go back to that screen and then back into here, load in and out, even though it is a pretty fast load. And this just allows you to click over here and swap directly to a character, which is really cool. It allows me to do it on the fly in the middle of when I'm making a video if I want to demonstrate multiple different characters, multiple different ways. Really awesome that this is able to do. And that actually reminded me about one more mod that I wanted to highlight here, which is one that I get a ton of questions about. I'm always like tagging targets and my character is pointing at them. And people are like, wait, is that like a setting I can set on by default? Unfortunately, no, my sweet children. But if you are a mod user, you can do this. It's a mod called Immersive Tagging. It's right here. So Immersive Tagging, it makes it so you can toggle whether or not you point at the enemy when tagging. You can also set a keybind so you can just point manually. I don't believe, let me see. Yeah, I don't believe, yeah, your other players can't see you doing this, but yeah, you can like point so that way you can have a nice like reaction gif in your thumbnail or whatever. But yeah, this enables you to point, and like, so the default Noospheric, right? If you have certain weapons like the phosphor pistol, whatever reason, don't have an animation for your left hand, but like this is what the Noospheric would normally do. It just shoots on its own. You don't do anything. You just stand there and it annihilates the target. To me, it makes so much more sense that you would like point, kill, because it uses the Arbites sicking the dog animation. So this works on every humanoid character except for the Ogren's not a humanoid technically. So yeah, it doesn't work on the Ogren, RIP Ogren. He doesn't have those animations rigged for his model. So yeah, it works on everybody else, including the Skitarii. It boggles the mind that this, at least Noospheric Command doesn't have that as a default option, because like you could say, oh well, like the you know, he's just ordering it to with his brain, but if you use the Flame Skull, he physically gestures to do the Flame Skull, right? Like that's how he decides, that's how he allocates that. So he does a physical gesture for that. Why is he not doing a physical gesture for Noospheric? I think it just adds so much immersion. And yeah, I got a ton of questions about that one because people really do want that bit of immersion in the game. So Fat Shark, easy ass feature for you to add, and add it to Ogren's too. It would be super cool. It would be very, very cool, especially if other players could see it. Just a suggestion, just throwing it out there. And then one final one that I want to demonstrate here is by my favorite modder, T-Dops. Okay, so this one was one I alluded to in a recent video, but I forgot to include the actual footage. Good job, me. I even mentioned like multiple times I was going to include this. So basically, you know how bursters are, right? I have, by the way, the sound is off because I have the Psychanium mod that like turns the sound off so it's not annoying in here. But yeah, the burster, he normally is like TikToking and stuff, and he is so stupid right now. He's like always falling down and tripping over himself. And so yeah, they'll fall down from time to time. But occasionally, you ever been in that situation where there's one that's like just kind of walking towards you, and then all of a sudden they like slip and fall on their face? Well, this mod makes that funny, so that now there at least be like this brief moment of levity of like haha before you instantly die to the burster exploding on you. And this is extra great when there's like a dog or something who's running up the burster's asshole and is like doing this and pushing them over and over and over, and they're just flying into your team. And so yeah, of course your team will die and you'll lose the run, but you'll have like, you'll have a little bit of a smile on your face because of the silly cartoon sound. And there's at least like 5 different sounds you can pick from. I personally requested to have this silly weep sound add in here. It's definitely my favorite one, and it doesn't get annoying either because it doesn't trigger from like any off angles, like the sides or anything like that. It's only when they get pushed directly from behind and trip and fall like that. So yeah, it won't happen all the time. You'll like forget that it exists, and then it'll happen when you're like just not paying attention, and you'll have a little chuckle, and then you'll die, and it'll be great. So yeah, there you go. I mean, obviously I got a bunch more mods in here, and you can go check out my entire mod video. It's a little bit out of date now because I have all these ones in here if you want to see all the rest of them and get an idea what else I'm running. But those are just a couple I really wanted to highlight, and I'll link them in the description. Go check them out. Thanks for watching, guys. Mr. B out of here. Bye-bye.